I'm joined by the man himself, the big man of the moment, Harish Bhat. Harish, welcome to UTT now.
Good morning, Abhinava. You should not call me a man of the moment. I am a person who's worked in Tata Tea for several years, starting as assistant manager and then as managing director of the company. But at this point, I'm very, very happy to speak to you and to share my views on any questions that you'd like to ask me. And I hope we can do that over a cup of nice Tata tea or Tetley tea.
Thank you so much, Harish. In fact, my first question to you, take us through the events, the flow of events at the board meeting yesterday. What is it that prompted you to propose Santana Krishnan's name as the chairman of the company?
Listen. Let me stay on what prompted me to propose a resolution, and let me start by saying that I have a very high personal regard for Mr. Cyrus Mistry, and I continue to hold him in high personal regard. Having said that, the reason that I proposed this resolution was because I believe that having a chairman of the board who is in a position of hostility to the major promoter company, which is Tata Sons, which is the major promoter company of Tata Global Beverages, is really to the detriment of all stakeholders of the company, including the minority shareholders of the company. There are significant risks from having a chairman of the board who is in a hostile relationship with the primary promoter company. Those risks can come from the use of the Tata trademark. Those risks can come from, attraction and retention of talent, people who have joined the company as part of the Tata Group. It can come from the quality of partnership that the company enjoys with various partners. It can come from future performance and future strategic plans being implemented. It can come from the ratings that the company enjoys. The risks can arise from several such factors. It is clear to us that Mr. Mistry no longer enjoys the confidence or support of Tata Sons. In fact, there are clear signs of disagreement and hostility between Mr. Mistry and Tata Sons. That was at the core of why I wanted to and proposed this resolution. And I would like to say that in the interests of all stakeholders of Tata Global Beverages, including the minority shareholders of Tata Global Beverages, we require good alignment between the stakeholders. We require, I think, a chairman who enjoys the support of the board and who also is in alignment with the major promoter company. Yesterday at the board meeting, 7 out of 10 directors who were present voted for the replacement of Mr. Cyrus Mistry as chairman, which clearly tells you where the sense of the board was.
Absolutely, I get your point, Harish, about the risk factors that are there given the fact that the promoters don't have confidence in Cyrus Mistry as the chairman of the company. But more importantly, on a legal point, I mean, this is a proposal which was mooted by you to replace Mr. Mistry, but that was not part of the agenda at the board meeting yesterday.
See, I think as has been explained in various media from various points in time, there is a firstly, let me re-emphasize that the proposal was brought in a fully legal manner. There are legal provisions under the Companies Act for bringing in a proposal which is not on the agenda, and those legal processes were followed to the T. Those legal processes were followed entirely. So on the process, I just want to re-emphasize that the process followed was entirely legal and in keeping with what the company's law lays down for the bringing in of proposals which are not on the agenda of a board meeting.
But Harish, who proposed your name as the chairman? Because the Cyrus camp says that your appointment was done after the board meeting came to a close.
I'm sorry, I don't agree with that. The board meeting was in progress, and at that point in time, the board meeting was being chaired by Mr. Santana Krishnan, and it is during that period of time that one of the directors proposed my name as chairman.
Expectedly, I mean, Cyrus Mistry has said that the move is illegal, and also Analjit Singh saying that something like this is quite uncharacteristic of the Tata Group. How do you respond to that?
Okay, first and foremost, I do not want to comment on a television channel of what exactly happened in a boardroom. I think I have to respect the confidentiality of the boardroom. So first and foremost, I would like to say that. The second thing I would like to say is, with due respect to Mr. Cyrus Mistry and with due respect to Mr. Analjit Singh, I think they are entitled to their points of view. But from my point of view, it is very clear that we have followed the due legal processes in bringing this resolution to bear in the board meeting, and this resolution having been approved by the board meeting. So if you permit me, I would not like to comment on the observations which have been made by Mr. Mistry and Mr. Analjit Singh, except to say that due legal process was followed in bringing this resolution to the board, and more importantly, I think this resolution was brought to protect the interests of all stakeholders, including minority shareholders, who want performance of the company, who want a company which is aligned. We must remember that here is a company whose major brand, our flagship brand in India, is called Tata Tea. It uses the Tata trademark, which is owned by Tata Sons. That contributes significantly to the profits of our company. And it is therefore very, very important that there is alignment between the main promoter company and the company Tata Global Beverages Limited. So I think the content of the resolution, and more importantly, let me emphasize, at the end of the day, 7 directors out of 10 directors on the board supported the replacement of Mr. Mistry. A chairman of the board who does not enjoy the support of the majority of the board, a chairman of the board who does not also enjoy the support of the main promoter company, which is backing Tata Global Beverages Limited, I think it would be very, very difficult for such a chairman to ensure continued performance of the company. Therefore, it is in the interest of all stakeholders, and particularly in the interest of minority shareholders, that I think this resolution was introduced and was adopted at the board meeting yesterday.
But Harish, it's the same set of directors who also had full confidence in Cyrus Mistry over the last 4 years. I mean, I get the risk factors that that suddenly emanate from the fact that Tata Sons no longer has confidence in Mr. Mistry. But on the performance front, on the strategy front, was there anything wrong with the way Cyrus steered the company in the last 4 years?
I think the circumstances have changed significantly and materially over the last month. And when circumstances changed, I think it is the fiduciary responsibility of directors to take on board those changed circumstances. You will agree with me, Abhinav, that the circumstances today are not the same circumstances which prevailed 6 months back. For anyone to say that they're the same circumstances would be to turn a blind eye to all the happenings which your own media has been reporting on extensively.
Many now are questioning the role of the independence directors, because at the end of the day, the move to replace Nusli Wadia as the chairman, it seems to have instilled a fear among the independent directors. I
want to just say, Abhinav, that I have the greatest respect for all independent directors on our board. I think they're very reputed people. They bring to bear their own views. They support us in taking forward the strategy of the company. They support us on the board in discussions with the management. They safeguard the interests of all stakeholders, including minority shareholders. So I have on the independent directors on the board of Tata Global Beverages, I have the highest regard and respect for the skill sets and for the competencies that they bring on the table.
But this whole approach that either you are with us or you are with them, isn't that approach a little disturbing?
I'm sorry, I don't agree with, or I don't synchronize with that approach. Let me tell you from my own point of view. While I have high personal regard for Mr. Mistry, on the other hand, I believe it is my fiduciary responsibility as a non-executive director on the board of Tata Global Beverages to safeguard the interests of all our shareholders, including our minority shareholders. Do you know in this play that Shakespeare has written, Julius Caesar, there's a famous quote, and I'm going to paraphrase that quote a little bit. It is not that I love Mr. Mistry any less, but it is that I love my company much, much more, and I have a role to safeguard the interests of all the stakeholders of our company, and that's the reason that I moved the resolution, and that's the reason I voted for that resolution as well.
Harish, none of the operating companies in the last few days opted to vote out Cyrus. Why such an aggressive stance from Tata Global Beverages? Is it all about numbers?
I would not like to refer to the proceedings of the board meeting of any other company. I am not on those boards, and I believe that I do not have the wherewithal to comment on the proceedings of those board meetings. I will restrict myself to to providing my observations on the board of Tata Global Beverages and the decision that the directors yesterday took on the board of Tata Global Beverages. The directors, including myself, took that decision in the long-term interests of the stakeholders of our company. So I would like to restrict my observation to that. I do not think that I should comment on the happenings on the board of any other company which I am not fully aware of and which I may not have full knowledge of.
Harish, as the two sides are busy fighting for their interest, who will fight for the minority shareholders?
I think it is up to the directors of each company to represent all their stakeholders, including their minority shareholders. And indeed, yesterday's resolution, I think, in a sense, protects the interests of minority shareholders because it ensures that the longer-term performance of the company is fully protected.
Harish, your share price has been on a steady decline since the 24th of October. I mean, isn't it a big worry for shareholders? What steps will you take to instill confidence among your shareholders?
The first and foremost step and the first and foremost message that I want to give to all our shareholders is that Tata Global Beverages continues to have very sound and robust long-term plans. And I will ensure as chairman of the company that those long-term strategic plans are executed with all the focus and all the energy that they deserve. As a company, we are owners of some of the finest brands of tea and coffee that are known on this planet. A brand called Tata Tea, which is the market leader in India. Tetley, which has strong positions in the marketplace in Canada, the United Kingdom, in Australia, in the United States of America, and many other countries of Europe. We have strong interests in the coffee sector with a brand like 8 O'Clock Coffee in the United States of America. We have a strong brand in the water sector, Himalayan. We have strong joint ventures which are in play at the moment. And I think what we will do and what I will certainly do as chairman of the company is provide the management all the support required with all the resources, all the facilities, all the power that I can bring to bear from Tata Sons, the primary promoter company, to ensure that these long-term plans of the company are focused on and receive our due attention. So that they can take forward. Finally, I think exceedingly good strategy with exceedingly good execution is what makes for great success in the future. And as chairman, I am committed to the highest standards of corporate governance as well as the highest standards of energy and focus in making that happen in the future. That, I think, is what I would like to convey very, very clearly to all our shareholders.
Harish, Tata Sons has alleged that Cyrus Mistry was working behind the scenes to take control of many of the operating companies like Indian Hotels with the support of independent directors. Did you sense any of that playing out at Tata Global Beverages as well?
I do not want I just want to make an observation in my current role as chairman of Tata Global Beverages. Therefore, I think the question that you're asking me just now is not really relevant to what happened at Tata Global Beverages yesterday. Yesterday, the board took a decision to replace Mr. Cyrus Mistry as chairman of the company, and I would like to confine my conversation with you right now to the key reasons why that happened.
Harish, Tatas have also questioned the competence, the very little experience of many of the GEC members. You were part of Cyrus's core team till recently. What do you have to say? I mean, was there something amiss with the way Cyrus went about doing his business?
I would like to say this. Yes, I was a member of the Group Executive Council until recently, and I was very happy to be a member of the Group Executive Council. There were defined responsibilities that were given to me on the Group Executive Council of spearheading customer centricity for the group, of looking at marketing across the group, looking at helping out with some of our new businesses which were coming up in the group, and of course being on the boards of some of our operating companies. I would like to say that I have done my best to discharge those responsibilities to the best of my capability when the Group Executive Council was in place. I also want to say that with due regard to my colleagues who were members of the Group Executive Council earlier, I would not like to comment on any of my previous or current colleagues on the Group Executive Council. It's not in. I would not like to comment on their performance or their personality or any such factors. I think that in this conversation, I will keep myself focused on Tata Global Beverages, what happened yesterday in Tata Global Beverages and the core reasons for that, and to reassure all our shareholders that the decision taken yesterday was in their best interest.
Harish, you moved the proposal to replace Cyrus Mistry as the chairman of Tata Global Beverages. How difficult was it for you at a personal level?
At a personal level, it was difficult for me. At a personal level, it was difficult for me because I knew and I continue to know Mr. Cyrus Mistry very well. But I think with my fiduciary responsibility as a director of the company, it was absolutely the right thing for me to do to protect the interests of all our stakeholders. And therefore, when it comes to a conflict between my personal what is tough at a personal level and what is right on a professional level, I think what is right on a professional level should always take precedence in our lives when we are directors on the boards of companies with very, very strong fiduciary responsibility to all our shareholders and stakeholders.
Harish, you are also the custodian of the Tata brand. I mean, aren't you worried about the kind of impact the current slugfest will have on the Tata brand going forward?
The Tata brand is a very, very strong brand. The Tata brand is characterized by several values. We have a very rich and strong history of keeping the community center stage in everything that we do across the Tata Group. In all companies of the Tata Group today, even as we speak, it is business as usual. Companies are delivering products and services of the highest quality to our consumers across the country and across the world. That continues without any interruption whatsoever. Companies are focused on their community responsibilities as much as they are focused on the excellent products and services that they deliver to their consumers. That continues without any interruption as well. Companies are focused on ensuring that we bring to bear the best standards of corporate governance in everything that we do. That has not changed as well. So the Tata brand is a brand which enjoys the trust of millions of consumers in this country. And consumers trust the Tata brand because of the excellence of products and services that we bring them every day, whether it is Tata Tea or Tata Salt or Tata Vehicles or any other product that we bring to our consumers. I think all those aspects of the Tata brand continue to be very, very strong. And the Tata brand, therefore, in my view, will march from strength to strength, will only build on the strong foundations that it already has, and will ensure that we stand by our consumers and all our stakeholders on every single day. That would be my objective as the custodian of the Tata brand.
Thank you very much, Harish. I hope that the brand appeal of the Tata brand remains intact. But thank you very much for speaking to us at ET Now.
And can I make a request of you as the chairman of Tata Global?
Surely, Harish. Yeah, tell me.
May I make a request to you? You know, we have some excellent green teas which have recently been launched in the market under the Tetley brand. If you have a couple of those, I think I would be grateful. I think you will see that we continue to provide our consumers with the best products and services always without any interruption every single day. And thank you very much for this interview.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. And I'm very sure that the kind of quality tea that you provide, it's unparalleled. I have absolutely no doubt about that. The issue is more about the slugfest that is going on right now. For a counter view, I am now joined by Anil Singhvi, a minority shareholder of Tata Global Beverages. Mr. Singhvi, you've heard Harish Bhat speak about why the changes were necessary at the company. As a minority shareholder, are you convinced that it's in your best interest?
First of all, Abhinav, I'm very confused on this whole drama which has been enacted yesterday in the Tata Beverages meeting, because according to me, the meeting got over and meeting was essentially for the second quarter results. When I, as a minority shareholder, when I look at the results, they've been signed also by Cyrus. And normally, once the results are declared, it is the SEBI's mandate that within 15 minutes of the closure of the meeting, they have to be notified to the stock exchange. So if Cyrus Mistry signed them as executive, as a non-executive chairman, I presume that he's a non-executive chairman of the company. So then thereafter, when I see this kind of press clippings coming in that there was a change of the leadership and now Harish Bhat is the chairperson, so I'm confused what happened in that board meeting. How did then Cyrus Mistry sign those accounts for the quarter? Where, according to me, I was looking only for the quarterly numbers for this board meeting, not this kind of theatrics which are enacted by the board. So I'm thoroughly confused. What happened in this meeting? Was it legal, illegal? I have no clue to this. Now, then I heard Mr. Harish Bhat saying that this was completely legally done. Now, I've never come across any chairperson who will come the next morning and talk about whether he was legally elected or illegally elected. So I'm completely confused that instead of giving a commentary on what happened during the quarter, what the company's outlook is, how is the company doing, because it is in commodity business, it is into coffee, tea, many other aspects of the business. Not even a single line on the business.
Mr. Singhvi, Harish Bhat says that a chairman who's turned hostile against the promoter shareholder is not in the long-term interest of the company. Do you buy that argument?
I think this is the absurd argument I've heard from particularly a person who has just taken over as a chairperson. It is talking so lowly of the person who has taken over is unbelievable. I have spent 35 years in my corporate life. I've not come across a chairman coming and bitching about a person who may have unseated the previous night. Secondly, what do you mean by losing the confidence of the promoter shareholder? First of all, Tata Sons only just about 23% in Tata Global. There are Tata Chemical, Tata Investment Corporation, other companies which are listed companies. So how does Tata Sons presume that those listed companies also will vote similarly the way Tata Sons is going to vote? So with a 22% holding, LIC owns 10%. Tomorrow LIC start doing it that we have lost confidence in you, then where are we going to go? And losing confidence is what? Finally, the board has to evaluate how the performance of the chairperson is as far as that company is concerned. You can't say I've lost confidence in you, so that's why I'm removing you. And who's Harish Bhat? Until recently, he was also a member of Cyrus Mistry GEC. So first he was Ratan Tata's person, then he became Cyrus Mistry's person, again he's become Ratan Tata's person. I don't know when will he again become Cyrus Mistry's person. So I'm thoroughly confused on this whole situation. If I see what is going on in Tata Sons, if they appoint another chairperson for Tata Sons, do I presume that Harish Bhat is also holding only a temporary job, and whosoever that person is going to be in Tata Sons will be the chairperson also for Tata Global? Because then I don't know what will be the narrative of the Tata Sons, that we have lost the confidence in Harish Bhat now because you have another person coming in.
Yeah, I get your point, Mr. Singhvi, but the removal of Cyrus Mistry was not in the agenda of yesterday's board meeting, which was essentially to review the quarterly performance. Do you think his removal is legally tenable?
I think that most of the Tata companies, particularly the listed companies, the board situation is becoming like a boxing ring. Whosoever can maneuver and get somebody thrown out, I think it's a muscle power which is going on. And secondly, I'm told that as I look at it, not only told, but I'm looking at from the events, chain of events, that if the accounts have been signed by Cyrus Mistry as a chairman, obviously until then he was chairman. And thereafter we have a commentary that there was another item discussed which was not on the agenda, that to replace the chairperson, which was completely not in knowledge of Cyrus Mistry. Now, is this the way the listed companies have to be done? And what happens? In fact, let me tell you, on 24th October, the share price of Tata Global was 155 rupees. Today is less than 120 rupees. I have lost 20% of my wealth in last about 10 to 12 trading sessions. It's all because of this kind of dramatics which are going on. Company is doing well. This quarter results are far superior than the results which we have seen in last several quarters in Tata Global. Now, who's going to compensate me for this 20% loss of the wealth? People may say it's only temporary, but I don't know whether it is temporary. It's like temporary chairman, temporary loss of wealth, temporary loss of confidence. How long will you use this word temporary? Loss of wealth is loss of wealth. I've also lost confidence in Harish Bhat because he was earlier Cyrus Mistry's person. Today he's a person of Ratan Tata. I don't know whose person is going to be next tomorrow. So is that the 20% shareholding of Tata Sons is the only behold situation in this? What happens with 80%? What happens to LIC which owns 10% in Tata Global? So I think this whole narrative is becoming so unbecoming of corporate governance and unbecoming of any person of any stature to say that we have lost confidence, we are removing it. But what is it? Has he said this, that he's going to be a chairperson for at least for next couple of years?
Mr. Singhvi, clearly there's nothing that Cyrus Mistry did wrong on the performance front. So why this rush to sack him as the chairman?
We all know. I don't think we need any answers to that question. It's only I think Tata Sons board which has decided on 24th of October, and thereafter is only consequences of that. And then we have people who have been siding one way or the other. I think this whole thing has become so ugly, it's unbelievable. And coming from the house of Tatas, the trust and faith, why would a Tata Global be trading at such high P multiples? Only for the simple reason that it is coming from the house of Tatas. It's only coming from this, that these are honorable and good people. But when the ugly thing is coming out, I'm sure all the companies will lose that premium valuation which they've been enjoying for so long.
But the bigger question is, how independent are the independent directors? Because we have seen independent directors take sides in this whole ugly spat that has been playing out. Don't you think it's a big concern for minority shareholders?
It is a very big concern, to be honest to you, Abhinav. I've been seeing it for the last 10, 15 days. It is really becoming so painful. Is that maybe these two sides are fighting, and every day you have almost a media trial. But my point is simple: in this whole process, who's losing out the money and faith is only the small shareholders. They do not know what was wrong with Cyrus. Till date, Tata Sons has not come out with it that what is wrong with Cyrus, what had gone wrong, has he committed some major problem. So for them to take a view that he is unfit to be, or we have lost confidence in him, and we want to remove him from all the listed companies. So until and unless we really know what went wrong, but the point is that today minority shareholders really are losing money every day in every listed company of Tata's. Who is responsible for it?
Thank you very much, Mr. Singhvi, for speaking to us. There you have it, the argument and the counter argument on the boardroom battle that's playing out in the house of Tatas. But the bigger question is that this whole episode could have been handled a lot better.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/etnow and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at etnowlive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/etnow.